Hi guys, welcome back to CP Mom and Daughter. I'm so glad you're here. Background's a little different today because I'm in a new classroom. So, I wanted to share about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I've heard some other parents of kids with disabilities talk about. And that is so much to do and little time to do it. I know many people have this issue, whether their children have a disability or not, but I just kind of wanted to lay out, from my perspective, all the things that we have to cram into our day related to Miss D. So, if it is a Monday or a Wednesday, she has physical therapy for 2 hours. If it is a Thursday, she has occupational therapy for an hour. And if it is a Saturday, she has like special needs tutoring for 2 hours. And so that's 1, 2, 5, that's 7 hours out of the week just gone already. And then each day, she is supposed to spend 2 hours in her standing frame in order to promote good hip health and to avoid having a hip surgery. So, all good things, but they take up a huge amount of time, especially if it's on days where she has physical therapy for 2 hours and then to come home and be in her standing frame for another 2 hours. That's 4 hours. And she's only 3, so she still takes a nap, so that's an hour each day. So now on therapy days, we're up to 5 hours taken up. And then she's supposed to spend an hour in her gait trainer. So on therapy days, that's up to 6 hours. And then we have the therapies to do at home, whether that's working on sitting up, whether that's working on, once you're sitting up, staying up and balancing, or sitting on a chair, going from sitting to standing, working on kneeling, just a number of things. And so that can go anywhere from a half hour to an hour. And so what? We're up to 7 hours. And then, after she eats, that's another hour. So that's 8 hours. We might have maybe 3 or 4 hours, 4 hours on a good day that aren't planned out. I'm not to say this to complain. I'm not saying this to get pity. I think it's important for people to be aware when they ask questions of like, oh, well, what do you do? If it's a parent that has a child with a disability, a lot of what they do, a lot of their full-time job is going to be making sure that their child gets all the therapies that they need, gets all the services that they need, gets to all the doctor appointments, has all the meetings with the doctors and the educators and the specialists, and then if they're not doing that, they're researching, because who doesn't want the best for their child? So it is a lot. And everybody's situation looks different. Some people, they might have a child that has mobility issues, and then on top of that, maybe they have a feeding tube, or maybe they aren't able to speak verbally. And so there's just all these different things that go into it that honestly I didn't think about until we ended up with our daughter. And you're thinking, wait a minute, you've had cerebral palsy yourself your whole life. Yes, but mine's a mild enough situation that I would go to therapy maybe once a week. But even that, it was an hour to 2 hour session. It was a 45-minute drive there and a 45-minute drive back. It takes up time. And so, just like other parents are out there running their kids to and from sports and piano and different music lessons and art or whatever their child is interested in or whatever their child is a part of, there's also those parents that are spending their time advocating and fighting for their child and running them to and from therapies and doctor appointments and talking to people in the education system and all these things. But we have to remember those children that have, those parents that have children with disabilities, all that work, that doesn't bring home a medal for their kids. That's not going to bring home a chance of a scholarship or anything. That's just so that their child can be the best them, so that their child can have a better quality of everyday life. And so it's something to be aware of. You know, a lot of times when you see a parent of a child with a disability, they're gonna have bags under their eyes or extra wrinkles, or their hair might be grayer faster than everybody else. And that's when you see somebody in that situation, give them grace. If they've made the decision to take their child out with them to Walmart, give them some grace, because they probably had to sit there and think, is this worth it? Like, I'm going to have to put my child in the wheelchair, and then I'm going to have to get the wheelchair in the car, and then make sure that they're properly strapped in, and then once we get there, we'll have to get the wheelchair out, put the child in the wheelchair, and just all the things. There's just so much to it that we don't think about unless we've walked in their shoes. And the truth is, the majority of us won't walk in their shoes, but it doesn't mean that we need or should sit back and be unaware. Because when we're aware, when we're paying attention to what's going on, when we're caring, that speaks volumes. And it lets those parents and those children know that they're not alone in their situation, and that there's other people that care about them and want to see their child and them succeed to the best of their ability. So, sorry if it was rambly or just talkative, but today I wanted to share just how busy a life can be for those that have a disability and those that have children with disabilities. So, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow, all the things. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, a podcast on Spotify, so